UNC announces its spring calendar for next semester. Welcome to Carolina Now. I'm Nick Perlin reporting from Chapel Hill.
And I'm Ava Pukach, also coming from Chapel Hill. We also hear about students' experience back in Kenan Stadium, but first, more on updated COVID-19 numbers on campus. The number of COVID-19 cases at UNC have increased. Carolina reported 11 new cases on campus last week. The positivity rate is now 11.9%. There have been 38 new cases since September 7th. Updated numbers are released on the Carolina COVID-19 dashboard every Monday and Friday. Visit the web address you see on the screen for more information.
UNC released their spring semester plans last week. Grace Gardner tells us what this looks like and how students have reacted.
To maximize the days between winter break and the beginning of spring semester, university officials announced that classes will now begin on January 19th. With this revised schedule, students have been denied a traditional spring break. However, Chancellor Guskiewicz stated that the university will replace spring break with 5 wellness days throughout the semester. Sophomore Isabel Hillenbrand feels slighted by the cancellation of an actual spring break.
If we're just at home in the spring again, like if we're still all online, then there's no reason to not give us that time off, because if we're having online classes, it means it's not safe for students to go out and go on spring break and do, I think, the more like dangerous, potentially dangerous activities that they would do if we were on campus and allowed to have vacation.
Along with the delay of classes, final exams will also be pushed back to start on May 7th and end on May 14th, moving graduation to Sunday, May 16th. Senior Natalie Giddes is excited and relieved about this revised schedule.
The change to push back graduation, I actually really like it. One, I think it allows us, to have a better chance of us having graduation in person. But also for the past few years, typically UNC graduation is on Mother's Day. And that's always that's been hard for my family because I want to go and support my friends and go to their graduation ceremonies and go to their, departmental ceremonies. But I'm always limited because it's Mother's Day and I want to spend that day with my mom. So I think it'll actually be really nice that now those 2 days won't conflict.
Reporting in Chapel Hill, Grace Garner, Carolina Now.
For more information and future updates on the spring semester, visit the UNC Registrar website at registrar.unc.edu.
Students returning to campus for the spring 2021 semester may be shocked to hear that there may not be a dorm for them. In a recent Zoom meeting, it was announced that there would be only enough dorm space for 3,900 students. All double rooms will become single occupancy rooms, but they will cost the amount of a double room. Student on-campus apartments will not be affected by this change. A selection process for choosing students to live on campus has not been determined yet, and housing selections for the 2021-2022 school year will begin this spring.
Early voting begins today in North Carolina. You can early vote from today till October 31st in North Carolina. Some of the early voting locations near campus are Chapel of the Cross, University Mall, and Carborough Town Hall. If you missed the deadline to register, you can do same-day registration and vote directly after. No photo ID is required.
Monday was Christopher Columbus Day, but UNC groups on campus are pushing for the university to recognize the holiday for a different reason. Communities across the nation have decided to celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day to honor Native American people. Carolina Indian Circle, a student group at UNC, usually celebrates the day by holding performances during an event held outside the student union, but this year's events were held virtually. These events included an Instagram takeover, virtual storytelling, and dance presentations. The CIC is petitioning that UNC recognize Indigenous Peoples Day as a holiday. To sign the letter and get more information, visit the link in their Instagram bio at CIC-UNC.
Kenan Stadium was eager to welcome students back to the football games last Saturday as the Tar Heels dominated Virginia Tech. Only 1,000 students won tickets from the lottery. When entering the stadium, students received seat assignments to sit in groups of 1, 2, 3, or 4 to allow for social distancing. Masks were required the entire time, and students had to stay in their designated spot. Groups were seated 6 feet apart from one another, and there was an empty row in the front of and behind each set of students. Senior Ben Hardy sat in the student section on Saturday and loved watching the game in a safe environment.
There were definitely a ton of measures that the staff took to make sure that the students especially were following the guidelines. I mean, I was standing probably 6 feet away from one of the staff members who was checking to make sure that we were wearing our masks the entire time. So I definitely felt safe. He was, making sure the students were following the instructions and stuff.
The student lottery for tickets to see the Heels take on NC State is open now and closes on Friday, October 16th.
That's what's going on at Carolina right now.
Be sure to follow us on social media, and if you see something you'd like us to cover, tag us.